Throughout the Rogue Valley, acres of colorful pasture land, lined with blackberry brambles, have been transformed into perfectly cleared soil with perfectly straight rows, readied for the mass planting of grapevines. You might not have noticed, but there is a growing number of wineries in the Rogue Valley. And according to the Southern Oregon Wine Growers Association, there are about 47 wineries in the Rogue Valley and its associated region. Pears have been prevalent in the Rogue Valley since the early 1900s and are still the highest grossing form of agriculture. But some of those orchards are being replaced by grapevines. And as a hobbyist beekeeper who puts a lot of work into his bees, I am noticeably affected by these industries and their policies. Something all organic orchards and biodiverse vineyards agree on is that anything growing in between rows of plants are not weeds, but instead habitat for beneficial insects. This is something that keeps the natural state of a farm intact. This is what being bee-friendly is all about. It's about letting and encouraging harmless flowers and herbs to freely grow.
My name is John Jacob. I'm the founder of Old Soul Enterprises and president of the Southern Oregon Beekeepers Association since 2004. Most pear orchards, even though they do use some herbicides, there is significant weed forage around it that's very, very beneficial to the bees, plus the pear pollen and nectar. Outside of losing pear pollination contracts, the other thing that really concerns me about grapes are we're losing just a lot of ground, even in areas that were never traditionally cultivated. Some of my bee yards in Ashland are surrounded now by like hundreds of acres of grapes, which was once, star thistle and vetch and blackberry and excellent honey making locations, but now we deal with spray residues and issues from these growers. Bees used to be the easiest thing to farm, took very little care, mostly fended for themselves, and now they're, by most agronomists, would consider them the most difficult, risky form of farming. Lawn care alone by homeowners uses more water, more agricultural inputs than the three big commodity crops combined. That's corn, cotton, and soybeans. So if we were to replace our lawns with forage sources, that were good for bees, all pollinators, it would go a long ways to helping the bee supply thrive more naturally. The whole thing with honeybees, they are subject to the same challenges that our native pollinators are. So when these more thoughtful farming practices are implemented, it's not just good for honeybees, it's good for the native pollinators, which is good for everybody.
Everyone can be friendly by simply planting and allowing flowers like dandelions, poppies, clover, or whatever other non-invasive wildflowers grow near you to thrive in open spaces like your front lawn. Another great step towards being friendly is to plant low-maintenance plants that keep pests away, can be consumed, or are made into great teas, such as lemon balm, lavender, borage, mint, or thyme. In the Rogue Valley, agriculture is constantly changing. But no matter what agrobusiness claims the soil, we can encourage those farmers to take a bee-friendly approach, as there will always be a need for pollinators to make our food.